Hey there, and welcome to a new update from our permaculture garden. Spring is here, and with it many new ideas. I've been working on several projects over the last weeks, all of which will help me to maintain our garden more easily in the future. So the first thing I want to show you is the new extended chicken run. Until now, our chickens had access to 3 areas, which include the composting area, a small grazing area, and the long strip next to the vegetable garden. The chickens do a great job producing compost and keeping weeds and slugs away from the vegetable beds. But our chickens could help us even more with maintenance work if they had access to other areas in the garden, like our orchard and the big meadow. So to make that happen, I first had to build a long fence. I built the fence with wooden posts on steel foundations and fastened the fence mesh with staples. To make the posts last longer, I put a steel cap on top. I also built 2 gates for easy access to the new area. For those of you who don't know this, when building a gate, the brace of a gate always needs to go from the bottom hinge to the top of the opening side of the gate. If you put the brace in the other way around, the brace will not do its job and the gate will start sagging over time. With the fence complete, our chickens can move along the northern edge of the property to enter the lower part of our garden. Here they find our orchard, many other trees and bushes, and also our second pond. You could also call it chicken paradise. From now on, they help us with maintaining this area and develop it into a fully grown food forest. So this chicken run extension does not only improve the life of our chickens, and therefore the quality of the eggs we eat, but also enhances the ecosystem in our garden as a whole. And every now and then, a few wild ducks join our chickens in their new habitat. While building this new fence, I also reworked the entrance of our main chicken area. I did some stonework to prevent the compost from getting swept to the entrance when it rains. I did some pipe work so that excess water is now directed to our second pond, and built a ramp so that I can access the compost area more easily with my wheelbarrow. The last thing I improved in the chicken area was the path to the chicken coop. The chickens buried the concrete plates in wood chips all the time, which made them pretty much useless. So I mixed some concrete with sand, small gravel and cement and used it to raise the plates a few centimeters off the ground. The plates stay clean for much longer now, and it's such a good feeling to walk on them. The chickens seem to like them too. Another thing I reworked over winter is our main path into the garden. Until this upgrade, the path had no edge to the meadow, so that the grasses would constantly grow into the path, which led to a lot of maintenance work. So during the last weeks, I completely rebuilt our path and added an edge that are built with stone and concrete. I made the path bigger and also gave it a slight tilt so that water can now run across the path into the meadow. Before this rework, the path directed hard water runoff directly to the entrance of the passive solar greenhouse, which created problems during heavy rains. The rebuild of the path was a lot of work, but it turned out great, and there will be only very little maintenance in the future. Speaking of edge improvements, let's take a look at our polytunnel. Here is also an edge that is hard to maintain, because it's so easy to damage the foil of the polytunnel. To fix this, I gathered some pellets and took them apart. A few screws later, the boards now protect the foil and help me maintain this edge more easily. I hope you now get a sense of why we permaculture designers are so obsessed with edges. Because if you don't get the edges right, you might not be able to maintain a certain thing or structure due to it being so time and work intensive. But enough building for now. Let's head into the passive solar greenhouse and have a look at our vegetable seedlings and citrus plants. This year we have a great harvest of citrus fruits. The warm and sunny weather during the last weeks helped a lot with ripening. One problem we currently have with our citrus plants are scale insects. I wipe most of them off every few weeks, which works fine because we only have a few citrus trees. But if someone watching this video knows how to get rid of these insects efficiently without using chemicals, please leave a comment below the video, I'd very appreciate it. Our vegetable seedlings have grown very healthy so far, so it's time to plant some of them into the polytunnel. After I popped the salads into the soil, I planted some radishes in between them. In the vegetable garden, I've already sown some carrots, and the first beets are happily growing underneath some fleece. I've also sown a lot of green manure to further improve the soil. I've sown lupine, alfalfa, vetch, grains and clover. These will now grow until the end of May, and then they will be replaced by the main summer crops. So this was an update from our permaculture garden. I do small improvements like you've seen in this video a lot, because they save me time and effort in the long run. Especially in summer, when there's so much to harvest and process, it's great if the rest of the garden is easily maintained. But to get there, I had to rebuild many things in the garden 2 or even 3 times to get them right and long lasting. Just like our main path or the entrance of our chicken area. And if you liked this video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel. I'd very appreciate it. Thanks for watching and see you next time.